What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here and you like what you see, please feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, like the video. As you can tell by the thumbnail of this video, it's a bit of a different one today. I'm out at Daisy Hill, haven't been here in over a year. Weather's looking a bit shit, but the weather app says that it's not supposed to rain out here, so fingers crossed. The plan for today is just to hit a couple of trails, probably warm up on jumping ant, maybe do bronze wing and another one, not too sure. But sort of in between all that, have a bit of a chat about some things that I want to talk about. But I've just realized upon arriving that this is my chest rig and I don't have the mount that clicks into there and then attaches to the GoPro. So I'm going to try rig something up with a zip tie. So hopefully that works and hopefully the footage isn't too shit. But if you get to the next clip, then that means I've figured something out. Alright, so I've rigged something dodgy up with the GoPro. Used a bunch of zip ties to zip tie this GoPro to my chest rig, so hopefully the footage doesn't turn out trash. But we'll see, so let's go.
Every single letter I pen on the page, I pay homage to the kings who sculpted this art. They paved the way for me. Every verse I record, do more than stay honest, never talk. Anyone who say the opposite, got a lot to give. Considered stopping it, got double crossed, dropped the pen and got lost in it. Talking about your word, I've dealt with a minor few. I only work with like-minded dudes who done what I'm trying to do.
The point of this video, I guess, is like a why do I ride video. I'm sure it's the same for a lot of people. I ride because I need to, for my mental health. So like I said at the start of the video, it's a bit of a different one. A few things I want to talk about, mainly, I guess, why I ride. The long story short is I do it for my mental health, but I guess we can start where, how I got into riding. And that was, I used to be super into the gym, used to train twice a day. The second gym session of the day was always like a cardio session. But as everybody knows, walking or running on a treadmill absolutely sucks. So I wanted a fun way of doing cardio. And a mate of mine, Jono, shout out Jono, got me into riding, and I haven't looked back. But after riding for a couple of years in conjunction with what I do for a job, and we'll get into that momentarily, I've sort of realized after the fact that I need to ride for my mental health to keep me sane, I guess. And I'll explain a little bit more of that after we've done our first trail. Alright, so like I said, gonna start with jumping ant, and again, if the footage is shit, I apologise with this ghetto rig setup, but here we go. Man, my cardio is shit. Might as well use this time of me being absolutely cooked to explain a little something in regards to why I ride for my mental health. So I won't say exactly what I do for a job. I want to preface this story with saying that I am not a cop. I promise you that. But in my job, I have to deal with incredibly violent, aggressive, agitated people. And sometimes, actually, most of the times that involves physical violence, with me being the recipient or victim of said violence. By the way, that was an absolute dog shit run at jumping ant. I don't recall it being that peddly, but anyways, back to what I was saying. Recently, 3 months ago, I was at work and I was involved in an incident. I also have to be as vague as possible and let you guys sort of connect the dots here because it's still an ongoing thing at the moment. Yeah, I was involved in an incident where an offender had a bladed weapon, you can imagine, and I witnessed this offender attack a victim multiple times, at which point I had to intervene as I was the only person available to assist. Had to disarm, detain and handcuff. Again, I'm not a cop, but handcuffs are one of the tools of my job. And then I returned to the victim, who appeared to have an arterial bleed. Now, I'm also not a medical professional, but you know, when someone has a massive wound in their leg and it is absolutely spurting with blood, I'm going to assume it's an arterial bleed, and at which point I removed a tourniquet from my duty belt and applied it to the victim's leg. And that was sort of, you know, at the time I was just doing my job, which is protecting people. Now, I'm not saying this to people to call me a hero or whatever. I couldn't give a fuck about that. The reason I'm telling you this story all comes back to the reason why I ride. Now, at the time, you know, on the day, it didn't affect me, and that was because obviously adrenaline. Yeah, so it all comes back to the reason why I ride. You know, it didn't affect me at the time, but since the incident, I've been suffering from nightmares at least a couple of times a week. You know, it's sometimes with my wife waking me up by elbowing me. Sorry if there's stories all over the shop. I've been interrupted a couple of times whilst filming. I'm still not, like, you know, super confident talking to the camera. There's people around. Essentially, like I said, suffering the after effects of witnessing someone trying to unalive another person and then having to be the one to respond to it, deal with the offender, and then render aid to the victim, which, you know, now experiencing the after effects with my sleep. So, you know, some nights I go to sleep, I don't have a single dream or nightmare, and that's cool. But other nights I have a nightmare, and sort of once I wake from that nightmare, I am then awake for the rest of the night. I can't go back to sleep. And I find that something like this, being out here and riding, it being completely opposite to the environment that I work in. Even coming out here, you know, I don't often go for solo rides, pretty much ever. If I can't get any mates to come out riding with me, I tend not to go riding. I go back to work tonight on night shift. So essentially this is kind of like my last day off. And I said to myself, if I don't go for a ride today, it's going to be another week or so before I go for a ride again. And I told myself I needed to come out here, so that's what I did. Still a bit unsure whether I'll post this video or not, because it's kind of hard. Not hard, but it just feels weird to talk to people about. And men shouldn't be, anyone shouldn't be ashamed when it comes to talking about their mental health. But I've been diagnosed with emerging PTSD, and I figure if I can talk about it, someone out there who might be suffering from some kind of different trauma, maybe this might be able to help. If you don't ride, but somehow you've stumbled across this video, just give it a go. I feel so good being out here, fresh air, nature and shit. You know, even when I get home from this ride, I'll be absolutely shagged, but I'll feel great. You know, I've noticed myself become a little bit more short-tempered, more annoyed at things since the incident, and I feel like getting out here and riding helps bring me back down to a more calmer level. I can say that if you're experiencing PTSD or depression or anything like that, and you're not actively doing something about it, it can take a toll on your loved ones. You know, I'm so grateful that I have an amazing wife who has just been absolutely hands down amazing, helping me navigate this sort of part of my life. Because if you let it, you know, bottle up and you don't do shit about it, and you're walking around being a grumpy fuck or being depressed as fuck, and you know, it's gonna rub off on your family. That's the last thing I want to do. So look, like I said, if you're not a mountain bike rider, but for some reason, somehow, this video came across your screen, give it a go. You don't have to have all the best gear and all that stuff, you know, just get out there. Even if it's just riding fire roads out here in the forest, it's really something else. And I'm glad I made myself come out here today. Honestly, it's made me feel a whole heap better. Now again, I didn't tell you guys this story to try big note myself and say that I'm some kind of hero and save the day, because I don't see it that way at all. I was just doing my job, and the training that I've received in previous jobs assisted me in saving someone's life, and that's all it is really. But yeah, anyway, we might talk again about this in a sec, but right now I think I'm going to do bronze wing. Oh, that was sketch. Oh, we just finished Bronze Wing, and then you got the Fire Road, and right across from the Fire Road is Bees Knees. So I'm just wondering if I should hit Bees Knees and then call it a day. Fuck it, let's do it. It's probably gonna look slow as hell. Oh, watch that stump. I guess that concludes this video of why I ride. Not that anybody cares, I don't know. Being back on the analog, my cardio is absolutely horrendous, and funnily enough, this place, Daisy Hill, was the main reason why I got rid of my analog bike, my other Marin, and got an e-bike, because I wanted to do more laps of this place. But you know, for whatever reasons, like I said, got rid of the e-bike and I've gone back to analog. I've done 3 trails today. Jumping in, which was an absolute trash run, Bronze Wing and Bees Knees, which were like also terrible. My legs are cooked. But yeah, look, if anyone's out there and you're suffering from like PTSD or depression, I promise you, go do yourself a massive favor and do like physical activity, whether it's going to the gym, pumping some weights, or whether it's coming out here and riding, or even bushwalking or running. Trust me, it'll make you feel so much better. And look, I'll chuck my Instagram on the screen, but you can see all that in the description below. If anyone's having a hard time, feel free to message me on Instagram if you want to chat. I'm always happy to help people. Hopefully this footage that I've filmed isn't a complete waste with my dodgy zip tie mounted chest rig, but I don't know. That's all I got for today. Like, comment, subscribe if you like the videos. I also do motorcycle content on here. I'll put a little card here somewhere on the screen to my 99 Honda VTR 250 Cafe Racer build. I'm currently building that, and every now and then I upload firearms content when I get a chance to go to the range. But yeah, please give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Let's just start a chat in the comment section about mental health, not only men's mental health, but anybody. If anybody's having a hard time, comment down below, message me on Instagram. I'm always down for a chat. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.